What is this, Leo? When we talked about the emotions around you, are you getting a little love bug bitten too?
Welcome to Cards and Constellations with Bonnie Morris and Don Rumor Rivera from Sonoran Mystic Tarot. Here, we blend astrology and tarot to guide you through the twists and turns for the week ahead. Don't forget to hit subscribe and share. Let's dive into your cosmic journey together.
Hello, this is for the week of August 11th through the 17th. Now we're going to have a general overview of the astrology, and then we will go into specifics for each sign. We will also have specific tarot readings on each sign. As always, we do start out with the moon. So this expect on the 15th, we're going to see the last quarter in Taurus at 23 degrees, 26 minutes. During the last quarter is when you celebrate the success, celebrate the project completion, and then we turn away and move forward. As we go back, we have to go all the way back and find the new moon in Taurus. When you set your intentions for this project, that occurred on May 19th of 2023 at 28 degrees of Taurus. The first quarter where you do all that work occurred on February 16th of 2024 at 27 degrees of Taurus. And then we looked at the full moon, which was May 7th of 2024 at 18 degrees of Taurus. And again, now we're at the last quarter ready to go on. Now, we're going to go over the void, of course. If you recall, last week I reminded you that the void, of course, would begin on August 10th at 11:54 p.m. at 13 degrees of Pisces. It continues all the way through the 11th and into August 12th at 3:33 a.m. when it ends and the moon goes into the sign of Aries. Again, on the 13th, we begin another void at 3:53 p.m. at 21 degrees of Aries. It ends on the 14th at 6:22 a.m. when it enters into Taurus. On August 15th at 10:11 p.m., we go into another void, of course, at 23 degrees of Taurus, and it ends on the 16th at 9:01 when it enters into Gemini. Okay, Leo, this week's energy is a little easier. We still have the kites that we've been dealing with, the one headed towards Saturn. Saturn is conjunct with Neptune, and Mars is on the tail of that kite. So you need to work towards that compromise and lessen that tension between those. Now, you also have the perpendicular kite headed towards Mercury, and it's got Pluto on the tail. So once again, find the compromise, lessen that tension. It makes the week go a whole lot easier. Now, we also have, let's see, I lost my place here. Midweek, we see Venus in a square with the moon. Venus is also conjunct with Jupiter. So we have your feelings and your romances and growth, and it's all in a square, which means something has to change. Some decision has to happen. Moving forward, further into the week, we have the moon squaring Pluto, and at the same time also squaring Mercury. So feelings, communication, change, transformation. Put that all together and something's going to change. Late in the week, we see the sun square the moon. And there you go. You got to make some sort of decision or take some action between your feelings and your core identity. Now, remember, the moon is still conjunct with Uranus. So feelings could be surprising and somewhat unexpected. Midweek, be mindful of hesitation. Mars may challenge you to act before clarity has fully returned, so be careful. There may be potential shifts in romantic patterns or collaborations right after that full moon Are your old dynamics not serving you well anymore? It might be time to change them. Singles may find some new compatibility through group activities. If you're coupled, you may benefit from renewed boundaries and a shared vision. You may have realizations and need to figure out which voice belongs to your true self. Be careful with overexertion. It will risk tension. Don't tax your energy. Express your truth with courage. You are Leo the Lion. You are anchored in ambition and structure. Dawn, what do you show in tarot?
Okay, thank you, Miss Bonnie. Let's see what Leo has in store for it in reference to the tarot deck, or in tarot deck has in store for it in reference to Leo. I don't know how you say it, but the point is, Leo, this is for you, and this is tarot. And tarot is very interesting today. It's been crazy. Either it's boring as hell or it's been jumping. It's been in between. It's never in between. So Leo, which side are you? Are you on the boring side this week, or are you going to jump at us? Let's see what we got going on. And you are the lion, so let's make sure we own that power, Leo. On the bottom of the deck is the Faith card. The Faith card is about your feelings, okay? Feelings. It's all about the feelings. So don't be surprised if people around you are in their emotions this week and they're just feeling all good or feeling all bad or feeling worried or distressed or whatever. So know that this could be a week, if you're not good with emotions, Leo, this could be a week that could try your patience, because you're like, okay, again, already, you know? So just know that. I'm not saying it's a bad thing or a good thing, but what I am saying is if you know that people are a bit emotional this week, walk a little gingerly if you have to. Make sure that when you speak very clearly and mean what you mean, and don't make this a silly little quip that could send somebody off, because that's the energy I'm picking up around you. Now, your energy for the week, I'm loving this. Yours is full of love. Look at this. This is the Two of Cups. You just all in love. What is this, Leo? Then now it's interesting, Leo, because when we talked about the emotions around you, are you getting a little love bug bitten too? Is that what we're talking about, Leo? Because if all this emotion's happening around you, maybe you're feeling some of that emotion too, and that's exactly what I'm seeing here. So, Leo, if you are in a relationship already, don't be in despair, because this is not about you breaking up. This is about you making up. This is about you reconnecting and rekindling and making sure that that relationship is going in the right direction. If you are somebody who's been in a relationship for a while, it's time for date night. You know, if you like going to a concert, go to a concert. If you like going to a movie, get that movie ticket. But surprise the other person. Make sure that they are not aware that you're doing this, and give them a little pleasant surprise midweek. How wonderful that would be, you know, and say, you know what, tonight we're going out. If you have kids, find a babysitter. Again, make it a surprise for them. Let them not even know that you took care of everything. Leo, this is a week to do that. Now, if you are not in a relationship, Leo, this is your lucky week, because one is coming your way. And I'm gonna pull the next card because I think it's gonna be instrumental. Yes, indeed. Look at this, the Tower card. That's the change. Yes, indeed. So the change card in reference to your relationship is saying, again, if you don't make changes, maybe one will be made for you. So again, if you're in a relationship already, you may not be aware that maybe they're a little unhappy, or maybe they're having issues or whatever. And so the good part is that if you do something to institute a change, maybe that will set forth a motion to be a long-term change, which is good for you in the sense that, again, you bring that revitalization back to your life. But again, don't be surprised if you're not in a relationship. That Tower card tells you you may not be looking, but you're going to find, because the change is happening around you and to you. So don't be surprised if maybe you're have some friends who set you up for a date. Maybe you're at a party and that person walks in, and all of a sudden it's like, boom, you didn't plan for it, but they showed up, you know. This could be a situation where maybe you're at work and a customer comes in or a client comes in, and all of a sudden, those birds start spinning all around, and you're happy. I'm telling you that you're not planning for this to happen. But don't be surprised if this week love finds you. It lands at your doorstep. And this is a good love, because look at this. This is with that Faith card as your energy and all the emotions. this is a time for you. You're open for it. You're ready for it. And I'm loving that energy. And in the summertime, who falls in love in the summertime? This is just crazy. But hey, you know what? If you're going to fall in love, why not? And it's interesting here because you're going to have this Five of Wands energy, which is all these things. Your emotions are going to be flying all around. You're thinking, oh my gosh, but what if, and who if, and is this, and whatever. Relax. Give yourself a break. Just enjoy the moment. Enjoy the fact that love has finally found you and that you were in a place where you could absorb it. And then I'm loving this, the Emperor card. Take control. Take control of it. Once that person shows up, once you make that connection, I want you to be making the phone call. I want you to be sending the texts. I want you to be having the conversations. I want you to be scheduling the appointments and the dates. I want you to make sure you push on that lion energy and roar on through and take no for an answer in a good way, not in a little stalker way, but take no for an answer when they're like, well, I'm kind of busy. Well, then how about next week? And how about this day? And how about this? You know, maybe even drop in, if you know where they work, drop in and maybe send them lunch, maybe send them a little gift or something. Who knows? I don't know, Leo. Be something you're not usually, okay? And that is be very much in your feelings, be very much in your emotions, and be very much focusing on that individual and what makes them happy. And even if it takes you out of your comfort zone, this is the week to do it. This week is that week where that Mr. Right, Mrs. Right, or whatever right has now shown up. So let's take advantage of it and look at this, the Eight of Coins. You're going to learn from this. This is going to be a lesson for you to be able to learn how to think about somebody else, completely surrender yourself to them, and show them how much you care. And this is somebody new. I love this energy. Now, again, if you are in a relationship, then you need to learn how to make sure that you keep them happy, but you need to be making all the plans for that special date that I told you about. Or maybe even a staycation or weekend getaway. How cool would that be, right? You have a little suitcase packed for them on Friday afternoon when they come home and say, you know what, we're going away for the evening. I've got a hotel room and I'm going to surprise you. Man, how much would that do to help a relationship, right? So this week, get out of your logical head, get out of your determined head in reference to what you're going to do, and more importantly, focus on getting into their heads and knowing what would help them to be happy with you, what would help your relationship to get stronger, or if it's a new relationship, what would help for them to know you better and therefore create that bond. Have the faith. You got this, Leo. Love is in the air. Oh my goodness, Miss Bonnie. What in the world? What have you done to me? I'm doing love readings now. This is not good. I'm not liking this, but I am.
Makes perfect sense because the words I said were potential shifts in romantic patterns or collaborations right after that full moon, and questioning old dynamics that don't serve any, and it's time to change them up. Singles would find new compatibility. You know, really, how perfect.
Miss Bonnie.
You did a love reading.
I know. And Miss Bonnie, are you now telling me that the horizontal mambo is now called collaborations?
I didn't name it that, but somebody did.
I'm telling you, because I'm like, oh, collaborations, all right, if that's what you want to call it, as long as everybody's happy in the end, call it whatever makes you happy. With that said, we would be very happy if you showed us a little attention by hitting that little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. We're making it easier to find us. And when you hit that subscribe button, if you click the all, every time Miss Bonnie goes live, or I go live, or Cards and Constellations goes live, or we post something, it's a lot of oars out there. Sounds like we're like paddling in the water or something. But the point is as soon as you do that, you will get notices. So again, if you're on Sonoran Mystic Channel with Tarot, which is my channel right here, pop over to Your Love Goddess and do the same, and subscribe, and go over to Cards and Constellations and do the same. With that said, additionally, share it out and let the folks know that this exists and they can find information and maybe even understanding of what it is they're going through. That's what we try to do. And hopefully we are doing it well enough that you'll find your way back next week. And that's again with that subscribe button. Miss Bonnie, how can we tell the people to go bye-bye and enjoy their lives, enjoy their week?
Well, first I want to remind you that share button is really important. Share this video out, because I don't know how many times we hear that, that was for somebody else, but I really resonated with that. I got a message from that. I'm going to make a change. So share it out. You don't know how many lives you can affect in the positive way.
All right, then. We'll see you next week, everybody. Love, light, and blessings from Miss Bonnie and her family, me and my family, to you and yours. Have a great one. And let's do some smoochy smoochy. My goodness.